Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. Hoping everyone's doing well out there, jerking off, anyway. So, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. I don't know, I'm being goofy today. But we're continuing on looking for sensorality, this connecting theorem. We've made some more good progress. Again, as always, we make good progress. But we're looking to logically exhaust a word family to show the complete iteration from its base all the way up to its range. And so, working through that, just more empirical evidence, anything that's true, language is consistent, providing new analysis. Right, livable is viable. And now, again, logically that's consistent. Look at the words, livable is viable with another L. Sensorality is absentality, right? Absence, right, it's built on sense. And so sensorality is we're building out this entire word family, and we'll derive sensorality. I'll literally have, sensation or sentience or whatever, but now we're kind of like on the other side of the equation, don't know how to articulate it. But we jump back and forth. But sentality sensors, right? Sentality is sent plus ality, but there's no I. What did I mean by that? Yeah, I don't even know. I'm not sure what I meant by that, but it doesn't matter. Again, the iteration for me goes so fast, and at the end of this stuff, it's like, again, this is 12 hours ago, and it's just like, it doesn't even matter. But sensorality sends, right? Every single time you want to send your sentience, you hit send, and then it's sent, right? So every time you click send on your phone, that is a form of sensorality, every single time. So when you want to share information and you hit send, you're using sentience, sensation, sensorality, literally. And so that's another extremely fundamental one that everyone uses literally all of the time. On that little button on your phone that says send, that is a form of sensorality. Sensorality sends. Toi, de, am, send it. That's. But sensorality ends. And so again, we're at this, I think I referenced it last time, you can see in a lot of these episodes, I keep saying condensing, and I really mean converging. And so that's a correction. I don't know if I corrected that last time, but I think I did. But anyway, again, this whole entire proof now, again, all of language is converging to the most efficient thing possible. We have this fundamental stability of two where we can't break down things more than a certain point, which led me to another thought, right, do words exist? Yes. But I've said that words are irreducible, but syllables exist, right? And so if you can reduce a word to a syllable simply by the existence of the word syllable, right? Like words, can you have any word that is truly not reducible if you have a syllable, right? You have a or I, right? Those are words and those are single syllables that aren't reducible anymore. So this is just, again, have we proven the irreducibility of letters, which again is why you have separate letters on your keyboard. Like, there's no more insight to that. And so, are words irreducible? If simply by the presence of syllability, I don't think so. Again, syllables are definitely the fundamental aspect. But what's the difference between a word and a syllable? Especially for those one syllable, two letter words, one syllable, three letter words. Send, right? It's a whole word, but is it a syllable? It's a syllable, but is it a word? Quasars. And if you ever, this is another thing that I really caught on, if you don't know anything in physics, just say black holes. Just say black holes aren't real. And it kind of like gets you going. But sensorality ends. So we see we converging by contracting. And so we're getting it down to, again, these two base operative words of sensorality and something else. But sensorality ends, termination ends, finiteness ends, definition ends. Sensorality is endality. What is dality? That's not a word, Brad. Don't dilly-dally. Yeah, it is. But again, just breaking down any syllability, any word construction that is possible to be represented with send, senses, sense, sensation, sentiment, sentience, sentimentality, sensorality. All of these words, we're just trying to get it to where we can show, again, complete generality, and again, at this upper level at 7, right? Your blastocyst differentiates 7 times. 7 is like the iteration limit. So we go from, like, I don't know if it's 7 to 5 to 3 syllables, or if it's 5 to 3 to 1 syllables. Again, I literally have already done this process and I forget what it was. But clearly sensorality, speciality, these words with 5 syllables, which again is the next thing past 3, because the only difference is 2. And the fact that prime numbers have been established, again, prime is not the right word, but there is it's some aspect of irreducibility. Indivisibility is irreducible. And so it's the fact that that prime numbers, whatever they're supposed to be, has been identified is the important part. And it's really just, again, it's a derivative aspect of being irreducible. And so we have this fundamental stability of 2 where nothing can be broken down past 2, because that was our one-way universal progression. We all live in 3 dimensions. And so I'm not sure if we reduce 7 syllables, but then we get to a single theorem. So then it's just like 5 syllables total. But we'll get there when the answer presents itself. C and S, right? In a lot of languages, the iteration, whether you're spelling like the sound, if it's an S or a C, it's like you can see it, if you speak any other languages, those 2 letters kind of get in, it's not clear as to, they're clearly being iterated. They haven't been foundational, I guess, I don't know. But you know what I'm saying, right? So sorality is chorality. And so we have, again, some aspect of that, the sor or core with a k sound. So don't know how to articulate that, but something's going on there again. Sorality is chorality. And you can't have sorality spelled with a C, because how else would you generalize core, C-O-R-E? You'd have to have chorality. So that spelling is unique to that hard k sound as opposed to the s sound. And so we have indistinguishability is undiscernible. See there, the C is no longer core with a k, like a K sound, but it's undiscernible. And so if you can't distinguish something, you can't discern it. Speciality distinguishes. Centrality is distinguishability, right? That D there, DI functioning as a prefix again, we chop it off. Centrality is distinguishability. Ability, and then ality. So now we can see that ality is this base, again, is ality a word itself, right? Because we could have lit, right? Light is lit way back when, but people said that it's lit. So can we viewed ality not as a prefix, but as some sort of negation prefix lit, and then the generality of y, right? So is ality actually a word? And you might say, why would you say that? Because look at the word ability, right? Ability is ality with a bi stuffed in there. And so what are we doing right there? I'm not really sure. Again, I can't even articulate really formally what syllability is, because I do have all of these different properties and geometric relationships that aren't formalized literally anywhere intuitively. But ability is like an iteration of ality with a bi, and ability is a capacity, and capacity to sense is sensorality, but just in general, ability and ality. Something's going on there. Sensorality is bilitality. Just continuing our definition and breaking down our linguistics. Talked about this in law class this morning, but dissent is the opposite of consent, right? And now we have, again, sent. And so sentience, sentiment, and you can hear it when you say those words, sentiment, right? Sent, iment, sentience. And so, right, and then consent and dissent. And so that was a big, getting this scent thing done was huge. But it's, again, demonstrably obvious. The opposite of absence is presence, right? We've said, right, what is space? What is a gap? It's absence. It's the absence of mass. And if you can't sense something, it's absent. And so it's just the opposite of presence, right? And then you have present, right? We're in the, right? Here's a gift, it's a present, or it's currently right now, it's the present, all based on scent. Is water wet? Water is aquatic. So I answered that as well in law class this morning. But sensorality, aquaticality. Because again, we just posed that question and that was the answer, it's aquatic. And you might be saying, well, why is that the answer? Because again, language is open. It's an open system. Once we build up all of our fundamental intuition, which is what all of the nitty-gritty stuff we did in the past, from part 69, nice, to like, I don't know, still right now, is we're building up our intuition to ask a very simple question, and the answer is sensorality. That's what we're doing. Still not there yet, obviously. But again, condense, converge, that was a big one. And you can see me like stumbling over the word. I keep saying converge or condense, and it's like, it's the right word. And I'm still like struggling intuitively, because logically it preserves the meaning fine enough. But the correct word is converge, right? Convergence, the universe on the verge, converge. And so again, that's what we're all doing. That's what literally every person's doing. And then I go read books, read the internet, scroll through language all day. And then I converge all of the knowledge that's known, I guess. But it's true. Like, I'm not trying to sound funny or goofy or undercut what I'm doing. I'm literally outthinking everybody. People are competent, not really, but close enough, and then they go form questions and they have conundrums, and then I have a math subject that solves it all, because there's no inherent paradox. And you just have to connect the right words, because language is consistent. Efficiency converges, sensorality converges, right? Your life, everything you do is trying to be more efficient, to be more useful, whether that's going for a walk in the park, being a good family person, starting a business. You're converging on the most efficient routine. You're building a rhythm. And so we have consequences, sequence, and sense, right? S-E-N-C-E. And so what is, it's something with that iteration of the S and the C with what we talked about at the beginning. And then sensorality is the present. But now again, we have this new insight where it's not present like, you probably literally never thought about that, but it's the present. It's what you're sensing right now. It's literally logically what's represented by that word. The now is present. It's what I can sense with my sentience. So we're getting very close. We've derived the entire word family. Now we're building it back up, and at some point, something's gonna pop out. I'm sure Science Club already knows the stabilizing theorem, but that is what I have for you today. Seems pretty simple, because it is. We're just learning a word in the same way you learn vocabulary in 5th grade, but we have to prove all of the identities and relationships because it's never been established before. That's really all we're doing, is simply learning a word. So thank you for watching. Please pay me. Again, I continue to live under profound duress and direct violation of the law. No one gives a fuck. Humanity is an embarrassment. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.